breaking down some Monday stacking options. Pretty full slate. Got some good pitching on the hill. Overly, I mean, there's not an expensive stack that I really like. Everyone's kind of modestly priced.
Well, I mean, there's the one fairly expensive stack that everyone's going to be on, but we're going to talk about them in just a second. But outside of that, there's some high-priced pitching options that you can definitely pay for, so you can fit them in with pretty much almost any stack, except for the one.
Yeah, let's talk Los Angeles. Yeah, their prices are up, but they should be. Bartolo Colon, this may be just his last start in general ever. I mean, he's considering retirement. I think the Dodgers bats just might actually knock him into retirement.
Oh, for sure. The Dodgers bats against right-handed pitching has been just unbeatable this season. It's the best play in DFS all year long. Bartolo, he's been the guy who we're stacking against all year long, and honestly, the Dodgers are going to be the most highest owned stack. They're going to be 30% the entire stack, but it's just this case where you really shouldn't fade them.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers are the first stack that you plug in, and then you can make some contrarian one-offs or make some moves on the hill. Because you just look at Cologne, 380 WOBA to lefties, 36% hard contact. I mean, that's just Seager, Bellinger, Jock, Grandal. And I don't even hate the righties. I mean, Chris Taylor's been mashing righties. Justin Turner, we obviously know. Those are kind of the main guys I'll be taking a look at.
Yeah, you could really use anyone. I think a way to get contrarian with the stack is picking a guy towards the bottom of the order. I don't know, maybe do a Puig, Grandal, Jock, and then a Seager stack, or just some different variation of a stack that people won't normally go with, because everyone's going to have these guys, so you have to get different somehow.
Yeah, and you look at Cologne, I mean, even if he goes and gets shelled and gets out early, Minnesota has the fifth worst bullpen ERA in the league, so you're going to fairly tank bullpen that's going to come in and try and basically control this offense. It's spend money all year.
Yeah, it's by far and away the best play on the slate is to play anyone on the Dodgers.
Moving on, Houston, I'll take a look at. They lose the DH going into Philly. This is a stack that I like. I'm not in love with it. I like the Dodgers, obviously, far more. Velasquez has been kind of strong against both sides of the plate. 353 WOBA to lefties, 338 to righties. And this is another one where I think you can go in numerous ways, and this is kind of one I need to see the lineup before I roll it out there, because I think losing the DH is going to throw a wrench into things.
Yeah, it will, but Velasquez coming off the DL, I think it's his second start back or third start. But is it? Yeah, it's the second start back. But we don't know how long he's going to go. He might still be a little bit rusty in Houston. They just put up runs on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you like Spring Altuve, obviously, but I like the value guys quite a bit. I don't mind the catching options: Gaddis, McCann, Gurriel, Reddick, Marwin Gonzalez, Beltran. Those are kind of the cheaper mid-range guys that I actually really like in this game.
Yeah, that whole lineup, 1 through 8's in play. Can't roster the pitcher, and I wouldn't recommend it. So.
No. Well, we could. I'll roster, Peacock, but obviously not hitting points wise.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I think they're in play. Citizens Bank's a really solid ballpark for hitters on both sides too.
Yeah, it is. My stack in the mid range, I'm looking towards Cleveland against Tim Edelman though. The Indians just at home, they're just typically one of the better teams in the league at home, and going against Tim Edelman, who has a 360 WOBA against left-handed bats and 340 against righties. Pretty much anyone's in play in this lineup. You got guys like Jose Ramirez, Lonnie Chisenhall, Michael Brantley, all who really crushed righties as left-handed bats. Lindor, he's better against left-handed pitching, but he's a good guy to have in the stack. And then you have the guys like Edwin Encarnacion and Bradley Zimmer, who are just average against right-handed pitching, but Encarnacion could hit a home run any day.
Yeah, and I like the fact with Kipnis on the DL, Bradley Zimmer's been hitting leadoff instead of 8th or 9th, so it's a really good spot for him.
Yeah, I'm mainly looking towards 1 through 6 in the lineup. I'm really not looking at Yan Gomes, Abraham Almonte, and Eric Gonzalez, but 1 through 6 are the guys who I'm looking towards.
Yep, I'm with you there. I don't even mind the other side of that one with Cincinnati. Moving to an AL ballpark, they'll gain the DH. They're going to be overlooked, I think, tonight, just because Vegas really isn't in love with them. They're right around a 4-run total. Cincinnati's, obviously they got off to the really hot start, and they've just kind of been an average offense ever since. But Josh Tomlin coming off 2 good starts. It was against San Francisco and San Diego. You just look at this guy, fly ball pitcher, allows a ton of home runs. He allows a 380 WOBA at home. I just think there's too much power to kind of ignore here. Votto, Cozart, Duvall. I mean, Scooter Gennett's been money this year against righties, 430 WOBA, 309 ISO. Obviously, a lot of that was enhanced by his monster game, but he's been really strong this year.
He has been. He hit another home run yesterday. Josh Tomlin, he is a guy who I like to stack against. It just depends on which one we get. We can get the good Tomlin who's going to strike out 6 or 7 guys, give up maybe 2 or 3 runs, or we can get the bad Tomlin who only goes 4 innings but gives up 5 runs and strikes out 1 guy. So it's a matter of which one we can get. And it's a great GPP option to stack against him.
Yeah, definitely look at the contrarian side. And you're looking at Arizona. This is one I was on the fence of just because Ari Dickey actually hasn't really been blown up prone of late. I mean, he's had a couple of bad outings this year, but for the most part, he's kind of limited damage.
He has, but I mean, he has an xFIP of 5.36 against lefties, 4.82 against righties. He isn't really giving up a lot of hard contact. We wouldn't expect that from knuckleballer. And in a dome, hopefully it should be a dome. The roof should be closed, but in a dome, the knuckleball is usually pretty good. But Dickey, outside of his few starts, his knuckleball has just really been hanging there, and no one's really been taking advantage of it. And we know how these Diamondbacks are at home. You have the guys like Peralta, Lamb, Pollock, Goldschmidt. Hopefully we get JD Martinez back in that lineup, and those are all guys who could just hit 2 home run games. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is definitely a stack I think you need to get some exposure to just because, as you said, the regression's coming. You look in the game. I love the fact that they also just saw him within the last few starts. So they're going to have another look at him again, which definitely helps with a knuckleballer because there's no BVP history here.
No, there isn't. And Dickey, we have seen him blown up before. Like he gave up 8 runs to Nationals last month. He had another game, he gave up 6 runs. And last season we saw him get blown up like crazy. So it's definitely a spot where Diamondbacks should really just pile it on.
Yeah, and I don't. What do you expect their ownership to be? I don't think it's going to be crazy high just because their prices are, 3 of those guys are over 5K on DraftKings.
Yeah, their ownerships won't be too high, especially with the Dodgers on the slate. I still think they're going to be popular just because people like playing the Diamondbacks at home in general, regardless of the matchup. But the full stack, I think it's going to be a fairly contrarian way to go when you have teams like the Dodgers and the Astros where people just love to stack every day.
Yeah, I'm with you. Quick game I do want to talk about is Miami, Texas. 2 lefties on the hill. This is actually a game I think is intriguing more for 1-offs and 2-offs. I don't know if I'm stacking it.
I don't think so either. I don't really stack against Martin Perez. He's a ground ball guy. He's just not a guy who – I mean, you can stack against him, but what's going to happen? You're going to get a bunch of guys hitting singles and doubles and no really like home runs or big like 3 RBI doubles or anything like that. Just a bunch of singles and small things. You want a home run when you're stacking the team, I think.
Yeah, I think the Rays are in play. I mean, the ground ball rate's more against the lefties. So like Bohr, Yelich, we'll probably get Tyler Moore in the lineup. But this is one of those ones where, I looked at it, I wanted to stack it, and then I just kind of figured, you know what, it's better off if you just kind of use Stanton, Ozuna, Beltre, Napoli, those guys are just 1-offs, 2-offs.
Yeah, that's for sure. But Texas on that side of the game, I do have some interest in stacking against just because it's going to be really hot in Texas, 95 degrees. And Adam Conley, he is a guy who really had some really bad starts in the beginning of the season. He might have been hurt at that point, but before he went on the DL, he was just getting shelled.
Yeah, I looked at his numbers in AAA, and it didn't look like he even found anything. His strikeouts were down still. I don't even know why he came back up, but whatever. I'm with you. This is one of those ones where I need to see the lineup because I just don't know if I can play, guys like Mazzara or Odor. I need to get a couple string of righties in a row there.
Yeah, it's tough because you only get the guys like Andrus, Napoli, and Beltre who are the righties in lineup. You don't want to use Gomez against a lefty because he's reversed, and Lucroy just hasn't been Lucroy this season. So it's really tough to stack with the righties when you don't have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, you might get DeShields in there, you might get Chirinos, but DeShields, if he leads off, he's in play. But Chirinos is probably a guy who's going to be hitting 9th.
Yep, I agree.
So that's going to wrap it up. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out the right tools and content.
Yep, good luck.